Hi, thank you so much for joining me today on Market Faith. My name is Deji Agboade. Because of the pandemic, so many people have gone through so many things in the last 12 to 18 months of their lives. This is a period that has been unprecedented. It's a period that nobody ever predicted that such a time as this will actually happen, where businesses are grounded and everything seems to have come to a complete stop. And for many people, it's just a catastrophic period. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. So it's a very tough period for many people. Many people are losing faith. Many people are losing their ability to believe God and trust God that He can bring them through. When your source of income has literally dried up, it just creates a situation where for you things look like they are bleak, and things look like maybe the future is in a state that you cannot really predict and you cannot really tell where the next meal is coming from. Look, today I want to encourage you and I want to help you in building your faith as we believe God for the miraculous even at times like this. I know that things are difficult and things are tough in a lot of ways, but listen, child of God, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. As a matter of fact, the Bible says that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are with me. And your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So the Bible says very clearly that you will have such periods where you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, where it seems like things are not working and things are about to break apart. The Bible says that even at times like that, God is with you. The fact that God is with you means that He will not suffer you to suffer other things and suffer things that He cannot bring you out of. So it's very important that you understand. So today, we want to really look at that a bit and talk a bit about that and how you can come out of it. What exactly are the things that you can do at this time to come out of this particular situation? Now, the first thing I want to say to you is this. Many people are in a situation where they are like the man of God, the prophet that God sent to a brook. The Bible says that he was there and the ravens came and gave him food and they fed him at every point in time. But then something strange happened. All of a sudden, the brook that was supplying Elijah with the resources that he required at the time dried up. Alright? Now, who would have thought that somewhere that God directed this man of God will actually dry up? Who would have thought that God gave this guy an instruction to go somewhere, and all of a sudden, in that particular place, things seem to have dried up. So, when you look into your business, God told you to start a business. God told you to do what you're doing, and then all of a sudden, things have dried up. Whether it's due to COVID-19 or the effects of COVID-19 or whatever it is that may have happened. Listen, child of God, for every brook that dries up, there is a plan and there is an instruction for the next step. For every brook that dries up, there is a plan and there is an instruction for the next level. What you need to do is not to panic. What you need to do is to relax, step back and ask yourself the question, what do I need to do and how do I need to pivot at this time? This is very important. This is very vital. The Bible says that Abraham had sent Hagar out of the house because of the issues that she had with his wife Sarah. Hagar carried Ishmael and they left the house. The Bible says that everything then turned upside down for the woman because now she was hungry, her child was hungry, and she didn't want to see her child die. These were people who were in quote and unquote surplus and abundance. But all of a sudden, the circumstances seemed to change on them. The Bible says that Hagar left the child and went afar off so that she would not see the child suffer and that she will not see the child die. But something happened that was magnificent. The Bible says that God opened her eyes to see something that was there but she could not see up until that time. So the important thing for you is this, child of God. Listen, the first thing is this: do not panic. Whenever the angel of God shows up in the life of anybody and any child of God, the first thing he tells them is this: do not be afraid, because there is a way that fear can paralyze initiative. One of the things we learn about the lion as the lion grows, because the lion doesn't have the energy to chase things around and chase its prey around, is the fact that the lion stays in a position and roars in a way that instills fear in the life of its prey, and then it goes ahead and devours the prey. Child of God, what you don't want to do is to panic at this time. I know that the situation around you seems to be such that panic is the only logical response to the situation. Rent is due and you have no idea where you're going to get it from. School fees for the children are due and you have absolutely no idea where you're going to get it from. The first thing I want to encourage you to do, child of God, is do not panic. Listen, when Joseph was called by the king and he looked at the dream of Pharaoh and he was supposed to interpret it, right? He could have panicked in the process of interpretation, okay? Because ahead of them, they were going to see 7 years of harvest, then they were going to see 7 years of deprivation. And instead of panicking, the first thing they did was to sit down and to think, what exactly are we going to do? Okay, let's set things aside, 20% over the next 7 years, so that we can live on that. You know, the powerful thing about the strategy that Joseph came up with, and this is the part that shocked me, is the fact that what the entire Egypt alone lived on for 7 years, the entire world lived on only 20% of it in the next 7 years. Think about that for a moment. The plan and the strategy of God was such that they only saved 20% of their abundance in 7 years. And that 20% was the abundance of Egypt alone. And what that means is everybody lived on 80% in those 7 years. But now, in the 7 years of famine, the entire world, because the Bible says that the world came, all right, and Israel had sent his children, and they came to Egypt at the time to get food. Everybody else, the entire world lived on 20%. That is very powerful, and it shows you also the power of savings in whatever it is that you're doing. But we'll come back to that some other time. What I want to share with you today are a few things that you can do that will be critical for your growth and survival and success even in this season. The Bible says that Isaac sowed in the land and he got in the year of famine 100-fold return. Listen to me, child of God. Do not panic. That's the first thing I want to say to you. Relax. Take things easy. Take a deep breath. Things will work out for your good. Don't get into a place of flux. Don't get into a place of panic. You start calling all sorts of people that have no business knowing what is going on in your life. Listen, you focus on God. The God that brought you this far is the God that is going to take you out of the situation. All right? Don't get into a state where you now start calling everybody, start asking everybody for help. No. There is a divine way to do the things that God has called you to do. All right? So it's very, very important, okay? The first thing is this, okay? You can appear overwhelmed by the fact that your brook has dried up. The brook drying up is not in itself, yes, it is a problem, but the bigger problem will be your response to the brook drying up. So let's not complicate the matter. Things have happened the way they have happened. The first thing, child of God, is this. Do not panic. Make relevant adjustments, but refuse to be overwhelmed. Joseph made the relevant adjustments that people needed. It probably wasn't easy to save 20%, but Joseph ensured that that 20% was saved, and he made the relevant adjustments that were required. So the fact that there is COVID may mean that you will need to adjust your lifestyle. It may mean that you will need to adjust your living expenses and how you spend money. It may mean that you will need to adjust some things. That in itself is not a bad thing. Listen to me. What you need to do, right, is to not panic. Make the adjustments that you need to make and sit back and let us plan and look at how to resolve a number of the things that will emerge from this. I'm going to stop here for now, but in the next video, I'm going to go ahead with this teaching. I'm going to share with you what exactly, in practical terms, that you can do in this season where things seem like they are tight, where things seem like they're about to explode in your face. Listen, don't forget what I've said to you today. Whatever you do, refuse to be overwhelmed. Refuse to be a complainer. Refuse to panic. Hold on to the God that you serve, because he that began the good work, the Bible says he is faithful to complete it. If you hold on to him and hold on to his word, that which he has begun in your life will be completed. Listen, God is not surprised by COVID. So if he wasn't surprised by it, then he had a plan for you even in it. If God was not surprised, then he had a plan for you even in it. So you have to calm down and know what the plan of God is. He says, be still and know that I am God. Relax, let's know what the plan of God is in this season, and then we'll take it up from there. God bless you. I hope this has helped you. In the next video, I'm going to talk a bit more about this and go deeper in terms of the steps that you can take. All right, I'll see you next time. Don't forget, share in the comment below. Let me know what you think. Share with friends and colleagues, and it's going to be a good one.